Would it take him pulling the trigger? Is that what would do it? And then you would say he needs to get out of the race? Abigail, you have nothing to say? Abigail, what if he said it about your your 3 children? Is that when you would say he should get out of the race, Abigail? You're running to be governor.
Miss Earl Sears.
I mean, we're talking about murder. We're talking about someone's life being taken from them. Have you nothing to say about that? Are you not going to address it? Really, you can't go any further. You're a governor. You're supposed to stand up for all the people. Are you saying political murder is all right? Have some political courage. What you have done is you are taking political calculations about your future as governor. Well, as governor, you have to make hard choices, and that means telling Jay Jones to leave the race.
Ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Americans, my fellow global citizens, we've got some serious problems with this. I mean, there's no other way to classify them other than they've got absolutely nothing. They've got no spiritual crutch. They've got no God. They have no other desire other than to retain power at all costs, and they're willing to do anything. They're willing to import criminals. They're willing to let terrorists, rapists, murderers into our country. And what you saw right there in the Virginia race, to me, is emblematic of the entire issue. Abigail Spanberger, who's the lieutenant governor of the Commonwealth, not even acknowledging. She doesn't even have a molecule of courage, of backbone, of spiritual fortitude to say yes. I'm going to show you the whole clip. It's even worse. And I've got a lot to share with you today, as well as disgraced, legacy eviscerated, horrific travesty, train wreck of a human being, if you could call him a human being. Somebody who has literally was the catalyst of the worst racial division and sowing of hate that this beautiful democratic republic called the United States of America, that I love with every fiber of my being, has done more than anybody in the history. He just released a new video today directed at the entire world. I'm talking about the divider-in-chief, Barack Obama. I'm going to play for you that video. A lot of this stuff is going to be, I'm going to get the bad stuff out of the way first, but I promise you, if you stick around, I'm going to share with you something that's going to make everything all better, like good little medicine. I've got something bright, something hopeful, something inspiring to share with you at the end. But let's get rid of the garbage first. Okay, as you just saw in that clip earlier in the only governor debate in Virginia, which took place a few days ago, Republican Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears pressed the Democratic candidate Abigail Spanberger to withdraw her endorsement of Attorney General nominee Jay Jones after his 2022 leaked texts revealed graphic, violent fantasies about shooting a rival and harming their children. In case you forgot, I did a video on this, but in case you forgot, or maybe it's been a while, or you didn't see my video where I covered this, here are the texts. So Jay Jones is the bubbles in the gray. And you can see right here, he says, if those guys DIE before me, I will go to their funerals to PISS on their graves. Send them out awash and something. And the individual he's talking to says, yo, Jay, just take it easy. Take it easy. Please stop, in the blue. But he even goes down and doubles down on it. He says 3 people, 2 bullets, Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot. So Hitler and Pol Pot are some of the worst authoritarian dictator, tyrannical authoritarians ever known to man. And Gilbert is his opponent for Assistant Attorney General of Virginia. And he says this, Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head. Spoiler, put Gilbert in the crew with the 2 worst people you know, and he receives both bullets every time. That actually came, after we see what happened with what they tried to do with Trump, what they did with Tesla dealerships, what they tried to do in Portland, attacking ICE agents, throwing rocks, Chicago, Los Angeles. I mean, that's just to name a few, DC, all over our great state. And what they did to Charlie Kirk, which we just passed his 4-week anniversary. I still can't believe it. I'm still losing sleep. Every time I think about it, my soul is shattered into a million pieces. After all of this, not one single Democrat, not one single Democrat has removed their endorsement of this soulless ghoul, Jay Jones. Check this out. Not once, but twice did Democrat from Virginia, Senator Tim Kaine, say he's still supporting Jay Jones. Here's the first clip. Check this out.
Do you still support Jay Jones? You do. What do you think he should drop out of this race after those comments? I just answered your question. You have concerns about what you saw?
So that was the first clip. You could clearly see Senator from Virginia, Tim Kaine, say, I do still support him. After those vile, reprehensible, calling for his children to be unalived, as well as him. And then he was asked the second time, and guess what? He doubles down. Watch.
Do you think Jay Jones should drop out of the race in Virginia?
Jay has apologized. The statements that he made were indefensible, but I've known Jay Jones for 25 years. I think those statements were not in character, and he has apologized. I wish other people in public life would sincerely apologize for stuff. So, no, I still am a supporter.
Want to know what the media apparatus did and how they covered this? Check this out. I showed this before, but it warrants showing it again. The TV networks absolutely buried this. ABC, 0 seconds on Jay Jones text coverage. CBS, 0 seconds. PBS, 0 seconds. NBC, only 63 seconds on a Democrat AG who actually put in writing that he wants to unalive and end the children of his Republican competitor. Could you imagine, America, if the shoe was on the other foot? Hypocrisy knows no bounds. I'm telling you, I've told you many, many times, I've worked with these people. They're all academics in sheep's clothing. They hate you. They literally hate you. They hate us. They think so little of us that you've actually got Adam Slime Ooze Schiff, the guy who literally, whenever he talks, slime oozes out of every pore of his decrepit anatomy. You've got this guy actually thinking so little of the intelligence of the American people that he's saying, well, folks, we got another dark day of democracy. President Trump going after Letitia Big Shame James, who has we have concrete evidentiary substantive documentation of her committing mortgage fraud. This guy has the temerity to say it's a dark day for democracy because President Trump has weaponized the DOJ instead of actually going to criminals. This is literally akin. This guy crying and whining about the DOJ being politicized is literally like Jeffrey Dahmer complaining, whining, and trying to critique Gordon Ramsay on cooking etiquette. That's how absolutely nuts it is. I want to play this full tape that is just breaking the internet of Winsome Sears schooling Abigail Spanberger, who doesn't say a word, is left in complete silence, so absolutely chained hostage to the radical faction of this party, which John Kennedy from Louisiana, who we both love, called it outright. Schumer's afraid of AOC and mentally Ilhan Omar and the squad and Ghetto Crockett and all the rest of them, as is Hakeem Nobody's Dreams Jeffries. They're seeing what's happening with Mamdani in New York, which is the scariest, deadliest, most dangerous thing since the brink and scare that Kamala the commie almost won or had a chance to win or even was elected to win. Well, she wasn't really elected. We know that. It's so in the year of our Lord 2025, it's absolute capital B bonkers. But I want to play for you the quick clip. Then come on back. We're going to go to the divider in chief, and then I'm going to give you some good news. Check this out.
Well, I think as everybody knows, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian before I'm a Republican, and I'm required to forgive people. And it's hard sometimes when somebody has abused you, etc., but it's something you must do, because not to forgive is almost like, as someone said, you drink poison thinking that it's going to affect the other person. And I want to live a decent life, and I don't want to not have peace in my life. And so as I've said before, I would not say that. So that's why I'm wondering why my opponent won't say, beyond it's abhorrent and disgusting, why she won't say it is not okay and that he must leave the race, because J. Jones advocated the murder, Abigail, the murder of a man, a former speaker, as well as his children who were 2 and 5 years old. You have little girls. What would it take him pulling the trigger? Is that what would do it? And then you would say he needs to get out of the race? Abigail, you have nothing to say? Abigail, what if he said it about your 3 children? Is that when you would say he should get out of the race, Abigail? You're running to be governor.
Not only was that completely creepy and awkward, her stoic silence right there, but it shows that she doesn't know how to make a decision. She has no courage. She has no authenticity, and she's not willing to stand up for literally anything, just like the entire Hippocrat party. What have they accomplished? What have they done? They've spent 99.99% of their effort fighting for criminals, fighting for illegals, fighting for more spending, fighting for more waste, abuse, and fraud, fighting our president, President Trump, who represents the people, who wanted a mandate, won every swing state, won the popular vote. So they're essentially fighting the American people. What have they done? What have they achieved? We're at day 11 of the government shutdown, and Chuck Schumer says things are getting better, which is an insult to our hardworking federal employees who aren't getting a paycheck. What have they done? That clip right there, to me, should be run in every single political ad for the midterms. And please, by God, if you're in California, vote no on 50. Vote no on 50. For the love of everything holy, vote no on 50. Do not give American psycho Gavin Newsom even an inch. We want to get our country back. We got to get rid of their voter base. We got to deport all the illegal criminals. Okay? And we have to make sure that these guys never retain power again. Maybe when they come on back off the cliff edge of radical Leninism, Marxism, and socialistic communism, maybe if they come back, then you can maybe think about it, okay? I've said this many, many times. You know, you take a Democrat from 1995, 96, you plop them in 2025, they'll be crucified by this party. They'll be crucified. And vice versa, you take a Democrat from 2025, you put him in the 90s, and they'll look at them like they're a lunatic and they need to be in a straitjacket. That's a fact. Let me know if you agree or disagree. And this video that I came across today, wait till you see this video right here of the divider in chief, the main proponent of sowing division and hate, Barack Obama, sending a message to the entire world about, you guessed it, fascism and authoritarianism. Watch.
Like many of you, I've become increasingly concerned about the rising wave of authoritarianism sweeping the globe. We're seeing politicians target civil society, undermine freedom of the press, weaponize the justice system. And no one is being spared. Even countries that thought they were immune from wholesale assaults on democracy now understand we're all part of this struggle.
I just wish this guy would just go away. Haven't you done enough to destroy our country? Haven't you done enough to sow division, hate, racial inequality, racial segregational kind of mentalities, DEI woke ideologies? This is the architect. If you're watching The Matrix or you've watched and seen The Matrix, Obama is the architect, okay? Mr. Smith is just, you know, the Schumers and the Hakeem Jeffries and the agents, right? But the architect is Obama and Soros, and Clooney is in there too. The Clooney somehow is the arm of the Holly weirdo camp. I think what Clooney says goes with a lot of the Holly weirdos that you see, the Brad Pitts, the DiCaprios, the De Niros. I think Clooney is like the right arm of Obama. You notice how his op-ed last year got Biden out immediately? He wrote this, oh, it's just my opinion. But then it just conveniently happened. He got ousted, probably without him even knowing. I mean, that scandal still needs to be come up. But man, I am telling you right now, this is not by accident. The timing of this is all intentional and deliberate at a time when assaults on ICE agents and law enforcement officials who were just carrying out the will of the people, carrying out orders handed down to them, actually doing their job, enforcing the law, are being called authoritarians, fascists, Gestapo, the SS. The guy who didn't even have a little modicum of decency and integrity to thank President Trump for brokering one of the most record-breaking peace deals in over 80 years in the Middle East, didn't even have a little bit, a semblance of American kind of loyalty and faith to say, I want to thank President Trump. I mean, even Hillary Clinton said, I got to give credit. Even Hillary, wicked, demonic, soulless Hillary even said, thank you. He doesn't have any decency. This guy is one of the most insidious ghouls I've ever seen in my life. My God, what a treacherous. This is the kind of guy that smiles at you and says, man, you're doing a real good job. And behind your back, absolutely sets fire to your home and everything in it. That's who he is. I am telling you right now. And you know, I get this all the time. People say, hey, Nez, man, you keep harping on Obama, the academics, and Kamala. You say they're all bad. Let me share with you this very important. You don't believe me? You don't have to believe me. Listen to their own words. I want to share this video with you right here. This is presidential historian John Meacham. And big credit to Mays Moore for this video. He has written numerous presidential biographies. This guy actually has 9 honorary doctorates. He also wrote some of those ridiculous Biden speeches about saving the soul of America. And this guy's preached for years about what a moral and honest man Joe Biden is. I mean, last year, a group of these presidential historians, these doctorates and PhDs and scholars from across the country actually ranked Biden as the 14th best president ever. Are you kidding me right now? He's not even in the top 50. His name is John Meacham, and here he is. I want you to notice the stark contrast from when Trump was first indicted versus when James Comey, with actual factual evidence and substantive, concrete documentation, was indicted. This, to me, is the embodiment of what I keep saying about I know these people, I've worked with them, they're academics in sheep's clothing, pretending to be great leaders. Watch.
This is really elemental, right? It's about Genesis. It's about that there's knowledge, there's power, there's something that you are told you can't have, and yet you want it. And so you take it. And once you take it, you don't want to let it go. And the remarkable thing about the United States of America is that our framers fundamentally understood this. They would be shocked that it took this long for us to be having this conversation. They understood the fallen, frail, fallible, appetite-driven nature of humankind. They were Calvinists. They believed we were depraved and fallen. And so what did they do? They built guardrails. They built a system that would check our worst impulses. The law is not as clinical as we sometimes want it to be. We have to, as Montesquieu wrote, we have to follow the spirit of it. And that's the test we're facing.
This is the rule of law under assault. And the question is, how successful will the assault be? And this is the time of testing of our institutions. President Reagan in 1964 made his great political debut in late October for Barry Goldwater. And he quoted FDR, for whom he'd voted 4 times. And he said, we have a rendezvous with destiny. So it was a time for choosing. A constitutional order created by James Madison and Alexander Hamilton, defended by American servicemen from from Gettysburg to Omaha Beach. This is under immense threat at this hour.
See what I mean, America? Do you see what I mean? Sounds smart, right? Sounds articulate, looks the part, chooses their narrative very selectively, omits what doesn't fit into their premise, into their narrative. You think Americans, you think everyday average people can decipher these messages? You think everyday average people have time to research? You think any of these points of view and these ironic hypocrisies are ever illuminated by the mainstream propaganda press that gave 0 seconds to J. Jones' texts of wanting to murder his opponent's children? Of course not. Of course not. But if that video, if that dichotomy, all of a sudden when Trump gets indicted, it's a glorious time. It's defending our Constitution. This is what we're all about. When Comey gets indicted, it's an assault. This is so important. It's so vital. I don't say tap the thumbs up and share this for me. I want our grandkids' to wake up in an America that makes sense, that resembles the America you and I grew up in, and doesn't have all of these lies showered where there isn't an umbrella known to man that can protect our kids from these showerings, these torrential downpours of lies. And they're hard to detect. They're not that easy sometimes. I mean, sometimes they're blatant. When Ghetto Crockett talks, it's very obvious. But when you've got people who have erudite elocution like Obama, I've always said this, people think I'm crazy. Eloquence is not synonymous with intelligence. Yeah, he may be eloquent. Yeah, he may be articulate. But he's an articulate liar is what he is. Pure and simple. He's an articulate Decepticon. Pure and simple. I told you there's good news, but I want you to think about this and digest this. Here's the good news. Check this out. Okay, I'm going to end this video on this. Our President Donald Trump, underwent a comprehensive follow-up medical evaluation at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center on October 10th, yesterday, 2025, where his physician, Captain Sean P. Barbabella, declared him in excellent overall health with a cardiac age of 65. A cardiac age of 65, despite being 79. So here is the official letter from the president's physician. If you want to take a screenshot and read that, but essentially what it comes down to and amounts to is that our president, Donald Trump, at 65 heart age, that's over 15 years almost. That's fantastic and absolutely beautiful. And I thought that you would want to hear that. God bless you, Mr. President. God bless you for all your tireless, ceaseless work. We love you so much. Thank you for carrying out the will of the American people. And if you love America, tap that thumbs up. It doesn't cost you a thing, but it helps us get our videos out there so we can continue our mission of making common sense go viral. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know where you are. And let me know what you think of everything that we talked about today. Really, really important stuff. And please vote no on 50. No, capital N-O on 50 if you're watching in California. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here. Just in case you missed them, tap my face right here to subscribe and follow. It's absolutely free. And as always, may God bless you and may God bless the USA and all who defend her. I'll see you soon.